Good evening. Welcome, everybody, to the premiere screening or staged reading of The Tavern of the Trickster. This is an original musical that was written by Angel Velasco, who flew in yesterday from the Dominican Republic with his lovely wife, Carmen. Stand, please. Okay. Now, this book, we have been working on this for many years, clearly pre-COVID. And it started out as a musical novella, the first of its kind. So Angel basically wrote a book about the story of Don Juan, which is a tradition in Spain to tell the tale around Halloween. In the novella, which I think you can access on the back using the QR code on Amazon, it's the book. You could listen to it on a Kindle or whatever method you can use to listen to books. And when you get to the part in the story where there would be a song, you would click on it and you would hear the song. Well, after meeting Angel, we decided, no, this needs to be a musical, like a musical on a stage. You know, of course, it's great for people to read books and listen to music. That's very unique. I've never heard of anything like that before. But to put it in the format of a musical is something else. So for many years, we worked on refining it, limiting the dialogue, getting right to the beautiful songs. I think you're really going to love the songs. They're very fun. They were professionally recorded, and they're up on YouTube. So instead, when we get to the part of the play, when there is a song, instead of these fabulous actors standing up and singing them, I know they really want to stand up and sing, but instead, he wants to hear them also. Instead, we'll be playing the YouTube musical up here on the screen. Okay? So you'll hear the dialogue, get to the song, hear the dialogue, get to the song. We will be doing a brief intermission after Act 1. Turn off cell phones. Of course, no recording, although we are recording this performance as it goes live. It won't be live streaming, but it will be recorded so that we can show it to future theaters. And we would love your feedback and love to hear what songs you enjoy, what part of the play you enjoy the most. And we'll get right to it. Okay, thank you, everybody. And now, Tavern of the Trickster. The Spanish galleon glides gently up the quiet Andalusian river. The crew is busy. An old gentleman takes off his hat whose feather floats in the breeze. His clothes bearing and his manners denote being well-born and of high class. He wipes the sweat off his forehead as he paces nervously over the bridge, his eyes searching the horizon with great eagerness, hoping to see his destination at last.
Port! How far away? What lies ahead? Farewell! Sevilla! Sevilla! Hooray! Sevilla! Sevilla! Look at the people waiting for us. It's so long since we were gone. Look at the feeling you feel in your heart, because there's no place like home. Hear how the church bells are ringing for us. Hear how the crying the Lord. Look at the feeling you feel in your heart, because there's no place like home.
What if all is different now? What if no one seems the same? What if all I used to know has changed as I have changed? So many years have now passed by since I left this land, my hometown, my old friends some loved ones back home. What if all I used to know has changed as I have changed? But look at the people waiting for us. It's so long since I was gone. Look at the feeling I feel in my heart. They said there's no place like home.
Look at the people waiting for us. It's so long since we were gone. Look at the feeling you feel in your heart, because there's no place like home. Feel how the wind gathers to us apart, making us sing a new song. Look at the feeling you feel in your heart, because there's no place like home.
Deck officer, prepare for anchoring.
Aye, aye, Captain. Aye, aye, sir.
Over the sails hoist and pull on the ropes, clean misty water deck boards. Prepare for mooring in the berth of the dock, because we're coming back home. Hear how the church bells are ringing for us. Hear how the crowd in the boat. Look at the feeling you feel in your heart, because there's no place like home.
Through the stone pier, you could see the families of the crew waiting anxiously to embrace their relatives.
Welcome back to Sevilla, my lord.
Thank you kindly, Captain.
The old gentleman reaches a small plaza with a circular stone fountain, presiding over the center of the square. On the right corner, a wooden pub sign hangs prominently, Tavern of the Trickster. The old gentleman approaches the tavern door, where he meets the taverner.
Oh, the students, they're here.
My good man, do you know what all this hubbub is about?
Yes, the students are back. From serenading someone.
Students? Students of what?
Of law, medicine, grammar, all enjoying the good life. They spend more time with their musical instruments in their hands than books.
Enter Duchess, wearing a damask-trimmed diadem framing her graceful face. Her clothes, rich and intricate brocades, denote her noble appearance. She is escorted by a young man, Guy, who seems to be some kind of assistant, a valet. They also listen to the taverner.
They claim to be descendants of the Golliards, a mixture of scholarship students, troubadours, and minstrels. They're known for their notorious drinking, racy songs, and rude behavior. Despite all of that, they manage to pass their studies. At the end of the day, they always end up here, in my humble establishment.
In the corner of the street appear in perfect synchrony a group of students playing traditional musical instruments, Spanish guitars, lutes, and mandolins. They surround the circular stone fountain.
Here come the wandering students, bringing joy to everybody in the streets. People looking on their splendid parade. Girls will fall when they play songs and love twins. Hear their guitars strumming loudly. Hear the sound of lutes and the tambourine. Songs that always put a smile on your face. Songs of merriment just flooding the streets. Look out the window, dear. this serenade passing, because they bring you here love songs so true and everlasting. Lean out the window, dear, open your heart to their voices, because their songs speak of love, things that feel like a soft kiss and leave hearts rejoicing. Here come the school-strolling minstrels again, wandering about night alleys and streets, always looking for young ladies to play, always seeking for just that one to please. Look out the window, dear, to hear the serenade passing, because they bring you here love songs so true and everlasting. Lean out the window, dear, open your heart to their voices, because their songs speak of love, things that feel like a soft kiss and leave hearts rejoicing. Because their songs speak of love, things that feel like a soft kiss and leave hearts rejoicing.
Enter Elena. She's dressed in a fiery red skirt and white blouse that shows off her tanned shoulders. She adorns her long hair with crimson bursting carnation. The students greet her with cheers and compliments as if they know her, and she flirts back with them. The one with the tambourine, Scholar, addresses her.
Here's to the beautiful Elena, who owns our hearts as her Greek namesake from Troy, even though she never loves us back.
Elena laughs at his words. It is evident that both share some kind of history.
Good evening, esteemed audience. Thank you for your sincere applause, which is the spiritual food of the artist. But as no man lives just from art, and we inhabit this mortal body, which needs feeding, thank you for the generous gifts you shall deposit in this tambourine. As the poet says, give alms without pain to the student for God's sake, for the sound of his song would rejoice the hearts of all.
The crowd laughs. Scholar, making a parody of doing the Christian sign of the cross with his tambourine, passes through the people accepting their coins. When he reaches the small group at the entrance of the tavern, the old gentleman takes some coins from his pouch and deposits them inside the tambourine. The student thanks him with a nod, but when he sees the young noblewoman Duchess make a gesture of reaching for some money, the scholar quickly withdraws the tambourine.
Your beauty is enough payment, señorita.
How dare you flirt with the Duchess, you scoundrel!
Guy, there's no need to be so rude. Pardon my valet.
An understandable mistake coming from a valet, but of course, he must have confused the word scoundrel for scholar.
Scholar?
Yes, scholar. That's what I'm called by my peers.
Scholar of what? Life?
You can laugh, but in all seriousness, I'm proud of being called scholar. Someone saw something in me and decided to pay me for my education. They give me a scholarship, but this lady seems to be too young to be a duchess.
You are in the presence of the daughter of the Duke of Abely. Since the Duke is a widower, his daughter carries the title, so you can call her Duchess or Excellency, whichever you prefer.
He deposits some coins in the tambourine.
Now you're paid.
I'm happy you enjoyed our music. For that, I thank you and I accept your payment. Let it not be said that the students are not grateful, but Duchess, as I shall call you, you are my guest. Your presence alone makes me feel like a rich man.
Smiling and bowing to the young Duchess, who gladly smiles back at him, the taverner gives him a silent order with his gaze to sing another tune as he talks to the audience.
Tavern of the Trickster proudly presents for your amusement and entertainment this song written by me. Hit it!
Really? Do we have to?
Our performance does not end here. Follow us to the Tavern of the Trickster, where we will continue the dancing, tunes, and jokes, all washed down by the never watered down wine of the good taverner.
Tavern of the Trickster, just the place to go. Tavern of the Trickster, everybody's home. Tavern of the Trickster, you won't be alone. In Tavern of the Trickster, everybody's gone. Tavern of the Trickster, where the party's on. Tavern of the Trickster, and the past is gone. Tavern of the Trickster, no worries at all. Tavern of the Trickster, welcoming for all. Tavern of the Trickster, you should really go. Tavern of the Trickster, you cannot be wrong. Tavern of the Trickster, no worries below. Tavern of the Trickster, follow me, come on. Tavern of the Trickster, just the place to go.
All the students, with the exception of Scholar, who joins the taverner at the door, enter the tavern, followed by all the people in the street.
My lord, if you're looking for lodging for the night, we have a couple of bedrooms to accommodate you.
Sounds like a good idea. And maybe a fun night,
Are you coming, Duchess? We'll have a wonderful time.
I don't know.
Well, if you change your mind, I'll be inside.
Guy, let's go with the students.
Duchess, you know I can't let you go inside the tavern. Your father would kill me. The tavern is no place for a lady like you. And besides, your father has just promised your hand in marriage.
It's an arranged marriage. I was promised by letter to someone I have never seen, even in a portrait. Why do I have to marry someone I don't know? The only thing I do know is that he's rich, old, and from another land.
You can't change your nobility, Your Highness.
But it's not fair. Where is love? Where is adventure? My beauty and youth will wither if I don't live my life. Please, Guy, please.
You're too influenced by stories of romance.
Well, you're the one who has shared them with me. Guy, you've become my best friend and confidant. You promised me a wonderful evening. Come on, let's have some fun. If I have to marry an old stranger, let me at least enjoy my life tonight. Set me free. Just for this one night, Guy.
Set me free. Don't hold me back and let me be. I want to try once everything. I just wanna live. Set me free. Set me free. I've yet to taste life, many things. A dance, some laughs, and maybe a kiss. Wonder how it'd be. Set me free. Tonight, please set me free.
Duchess, it's my duty to protect your well-being and keep you safe from mundane things that can put you in danger.
But, Guy,
if your father would learn what you ask, what you beg, not only I'd lose his trust, but my life would be in danger. Since your marriage she arranged, that blind wedlock's your fate. Just the price you should pay to be of noble birth.
but it's just not my fault. It's not fair, not at all, to be punished for being born in a golden cage. Set me free. Don't hold me back and let me be. I want to try once everything. I just wanna live. Set me free. Set me free. I've yet to taste life, many things. One dream, some laughs, and maybe a kiss. Wonder how it'd be. Set me free. Tonight, please set me free.
If I do,
yes, please,
what you ask me only, if I do,
yes,
you'd have to promise not a word, 'cause it will be my fault.
Yes,
let me think, let me think.
Set me free.
I'd love to help you.
Set me free.
but how to get you.
Set me free.
What is in your dream?
Set me free. Please?
Oh well. Tonight I'll set you free.
Thank you.
Oh, Guy, you won't regret it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are the best friend a girl could ask for.
Yes. A friend.
Forgive the intrusion, my lady, but the scholar told me about your duchessness. Why not step into my humble tavern and experience its hidden wonders?
Yes, come on, Guy, let's do it. Let's have fun tonight.
An old gentleman and a duchess. My God, it's been a long time since this tavern was so well suited.
Enter the tavern. Behind the bar, tending it, there is the young and beautiful innkeeper's niece, Elena, who has just entertained patrons with her flirtatious squabble with the students on the balcony. The taverner accompanies Duchess and Guy to a table.
Please, sit down here at this table. It's the finest one in the tavern. It's close to the bar where Elena, my niece, and I will be able to attend to all of your needs.
Not a bad place, Taverner.
You must know that you are in one of the oldest and most venerated institutions in all of Sevilla. It's older than the famous cathedral, the real Alcazar, the Tower of Gold, and even of the ancient walls.
Go on, sir, tell us more. Why the strange name, Tavern of the Trickster?
Well, you know, your duchessness, this tavern has belonged to my family for generations. I inherited it from my father, who in turn inherited it from my grandfather, and so on. Going back in history more than 2,000 years, here within its walls have occurred some of the greatest events ever told.
And some even invented.
This is the story that somebody told. We just repeat it, don't blame us at all. So many tricksters pass through these doors. You can be sure how history goes. This is the oldest, most famous tavern in the world. History tells us the founder was Zeus's great son. Hercules built the city of Seville. Placing these pillars, played one last trick in order to build him a place where he could get some drinks. Hercules built the city of Seville. Placing these pillars, played one last trick in order to build him a place where he could get some drinks. This is the story that somebody told. We just repeat it, don't blame us at all. So many tricksters pass through these doors. You can be sure how history goes. Then came the noble Romans. They liked this place. Caesar made good friends with local Spanish girls. Threatened that he would be stabbed in the back. He said to build a great wall that would last. That was his trick to get Spanish girls right in the sack. Threatened that he would be stabbed in the back. He said to build a great wall that would last. That was his trick to get Spanish girls right in the sack. This is the story that somebody told. We just repeat it, don't blame us at all. So many tricksters pass through these doors. You can be sure how history goes. Later the Moors came over, conquering Spain. They stayed just for 8 centuries, more or less. My great-great-grandpa converted to their faith. He also converted into a tea house, that place. That was the trick he did to sell drinks, 'cause prohibition is always a treat for business owners who sell alcohol that's not cheap. That was the trick he did to sell drinks, 'cause prohibition is always a treat for business owners who sell alcohol that's not cheap. This is the story
that somebody told. We just repeat it, don't blame us at all. So many tricksters pass through these doors, you can be sure how history goes. Then King Ferdinand III called the saint, reconquered Sevilla for the Christendom, and his holy body inside his tomb once a year gives off an orange blossom scent. This is an awesome trick made by the saint, but my ancestors bottled the scent, selling it as a miracle drink supplement. This is an awesome trick made by the saint, but my ancestors bottled the scent, selling it as a miracle drink supplement. This is the story that somebody told. We just repeat it, don't blame us at all. So many tricksters pass through these doors, you can be sure how history goes. Over at the corner, my grandpa did teach how to make one egg stand on its own tip. And this Columbus guy learned of the trick, used it to fund his Caribbean trip. But one of Grandpa's best tricks, cover a jug with a dish, so no more flies get in the wine, and you can drink all the drink that you please. He put some olives and cheese in a dish, so people ate tapas while having some drinks, and they could not get drunk fast, and he could sell more drinks. He put some olives and cheese in a dish, so people ate tapas while having some drinks, and they would not get drunk fast, and he could sell more drinks. This is the story that somebody told. We just repeat it, don't blame us at all. So many tricksters pass through these doors, you can be sure how history goes. This is the story that somebody told. We just repeat it, don't blame us at all. So many tricksters pass through these doors, you can be sure how history goes.
Hey, don't forget about the most famous trickster of all.
Of course not. He needs no introduction, but, well, let me present to you the most famous gallant of all time, Don Juan, the trickster of Sevilla, whose exploits occurred in this very same tavern.
He points to a bust of black alabaster atop a stone pedestal. One of the students reads from the base of the bust.
Don Juan, the trickster of Sevilla.
I know all about the stories and the historical characters you've spoken of, but I never heard about this character. Don Juan, you say? Who is this trickster of Sevilla, of whom you are so enthusiastic?
What? Don't you know the story of the trickster of Seville? The most famous seducer and womanizer of the world.
Well, that must be remedied, for we are his worthy heirs. Yes, and we also act out his tale every year on All Saints' Day. Actually, the evening before Hallows' Eve.
Not his tale, but his true story and legend. Sir, if you're willing to pay for drinks tonight, we'll gladly perform the true story of the trickster of Sevilla for you and our esteemed audience.
Well, fine by me. Let's all have some fun.
Then, for the pride and satisfaction of this noble gathering, allow us, ladies and gentlemen, to present the true story of the world's greatest gallant the world ever knew. I shall be the narrator of this adventures and the director of this farce. In addition, I also award myself with the role of Don Juan. You'll be Don Luis, and you shall be the comandador, Doña Inés's father.
And we'll be Don Juan's friends.
You'll be Don Juan's footman, and you four will serve as bailiffs of the court. Elena, will you play the role of Doña Inés?
I don't see myself as an innocent maiden in love with a womanizer like Don Juan, but, well...
Sir, lend me your hat.
He just takes it.
Would you be kind enough, Duchess, to help us in this performance of this tale? You could act as Don Luis's fiancé.
The role of a fiancé surely suits you, Duchess, since your father seems to have made you one without your knowledge.
I would be delighted, scholar, although I do not know the story nor the words.
Don't worry. I will direct you. It's a simple and silent role. Just act what I recite or narrate.
I did not expect this would be such an exciting night.
Let the show begin. This true story is about a meeting that took place one night, not long ago, this very same tavern between two friends who a year before had made a bet This wager consisted of determining which of the two young lads made the best lover, trickster, and brawler in the time period of 1 year. Thus, on this same night, Don Luis and Don Juan compared their lists, corroborated by witnesses, and it turned out Don Juan surpassed Don Luis in the number of conquests. Don Luis recognized.
Wait, hey. Let me play my part. I also know the story.
Well, go ahead.
Scholar puts on the hat to portray Don Juan.
I, Don Luis, have to tell you, Don Juan, that all that is missing in that list of yours is a maiden who is going to take her holy vows to become a nun, a novice.
You're correct, my friend. That dove has not yet fallen under the hawk's claws, my claws. What Don Luis didn't know is that Don Juan was already working on Doña Inés. Bribing Doña Inés's maid, he had, little by little, convinced Doña Inés of Don Juan's love for her. His deed was almost done, and certainly what Don Luis did not expect was for Don Juan to add another female. Not only the nun, but her friend's fiancé is missing from the list. But do not worry, my friend, before your wedding tomorrow, the wage will be completed. A nun and a friend's fiancé will be on that list.
Don Juan, what are you insinuating?
I insinuate nothing. I affirm, declare, and maintain that before your wedding, I will have conquered not only the nun, but also Doña Ana, your fiancé, and I will win the bet.
Then the prize is dying, for winning means paying with your life.
So be it! As the two men prepare for battle, they are interrupted by the court's bailiffs and are both arrested. That same night, after bribing the prison guard and being released from prison, Don Luis meets his fiancée at her iron gate. Just represent my words with gestures, Duchess. You too, Don Luis. Don Luis warns his fiancée of Don Juan's bet and asks her to spend the night with him to prevent Don Juan from dishonoring her. She agrees, and Don Luis tells her that he will be back soon. Then, Doña Ana returns to the house to just wait. Don Luis moves away from the iron gate, but Don Juan, who is also very smart, also manages to get out of jail by means of a bribe. And he waits with his servants spying on both the scene and his conquest. Come with me to find my friends. When I face Don Luis, grab him, then take him to my house and lock him in the cellar. So Don Juan went and found Don Luis and faced him.
Don Juan, how did you get here?
Aren't I known as a trickster of Seville? I'm here to keep my promise.
Over my dead body.
Just as the two men are about to fight again, Don Juan's footmen appear with his friends. They grab Don Luis, strip him of his cape and hat, gag him, and carry him off. In disguise as Don Luis, Don Juan enters the house of Doña Ana. She is deceived by the clothes in the darkness. Thinking, I am Don Luis, she surrenders to me. I mean me. She surrenders to me.
He takes the Duchess by the shoulders and goes in for a kiss, but she pulls back and avoids it.
I swear.
The cobra. Ha! She pulled a cobra on him.
A cobra? What do you mean?
It's the move a cobra snake makes when it's threatened. It straightens, it throws its head back like this.
I was just in character playing my role. You're so quick. Thank you, Duchess. Here ends your role in this great story.
Oh, so soon?
Scholar addressed the old gentleman.
I know I'm good, sir, but it's only a story. Calm down.
Scholar continues narrating.
While all of this was happening, Don Juan, a few hours earlier, had sent a letter to Doña Inés through her maid who served Doña Inés in the convent. Doña Inés, who is already in love with Don Juan, hears his words spoken by her maid and feels a sweeping passion that makes her almost faint. At that moment, Don Juan presents himself in the nunnery. Here I am, my sweet being.
My Don Juan.
And she faints in her arms.
You know your role very well. Don Juan kidnaps Doña Inés and takes her to his house across the river on the outskirts of Seville. There, he awakes her and lies, saying how a fire was declared in the convent, and while he awaited a reply to his letter, he had no choice but to enter the convent and save her. Later, using his lover's gift,
he sings a song to her. Doña Inés falls in love with him, finally and completely.
Scholar, tell the story as it was. And Don Juan, seeing the purity of her love for the first time in his life, feels true love, to the point that she is the only woman with whom he does not consummate love.
That too. Finally, they declare their mutual love, but are interrupted by Don Luis, who had been able to escape for the second time that night from his captors, and tries to challenge Don Juan for the betrayal of his fiancée, Doña Ana. In addition, Doña Inés's father, the Comendador, arrives at the house after learning Don Juan's bet with his daughter, who went searching for her at the convent, but upon finding her missing, headed to Don Juan's place, fearing the worst. At the refusal of the Comendador to let Don Juan marry his daughter, Don Juan kills him without further ado.
No, no, no! A kneeling Don Juan admits he truly loves Doña Inés and wants to marry her. The Comendador refuses and, drawing his sword, attacks Don Juan, who is forced to defend himself. By accident and ill fate, Don Juan kills the Comendador and Don Luis.
Well, yes, he killed them, and Doña Inés cries to her father. Go on, Doña Inés, play a role.
Father, father.
And so Don Juan flees to Italy.
I have to admit the rascal is a good storyteller.
So, what happened to Doña Inés?
The second part of this tragedy takes place in Sevilla on All Hallows Eve. 5 years later, after the death of his father, Don Juan returned to his native Sevilla. He discovers that the house he was born in was converted into a pantheon where they buried those who died by the hands of his son, Don Juan. A sculptor had carved the effigies, each one into their tombstones. And there, besides the tomb of his father, he found the tomb of the Comendador. And next to that, the tomb of Don Luis. And there, to his misfortune, he also finds the grave of the Comendador's daughter, Doña Inés, who died of grief.
Oh no!
Doña Inés, there was a time when I thought you could have been my true love. Such things exist.
But the voice of the spirit of Doña Inés interrupts. Don Juan, but of course true love exists. I was yours and still am. That's why at my death I made a deal with God, and I'm waiting for you in purgatory. So repent, Don Juan. Repent all your evil deeds, so we can be together in eternity.
Don Juan weighs the possibility that everything is a hallucination. And when the two of his old friends appear at the cemetery, he almost kills them, believing they are ghosts too. Who's there? Stop, evil shadows!
Don Juan, do you think we are ghosts? Well, so much for welcoming your old mates.
Forgive me, friends. For a moment I took you for ghosts or pranksters. But you're right. This is not an appropriate welcome for friends. That's why I shall invite you to dine with me in my estate.
So, just the three of us alone?
Well, if you like, I can also invite all of these friends.
Now, Don Juan, do not toy with these things. Yes, let alone on the eve of the dead.
Well, now it seems that the ones afraid of ghosts are both of you. But what am I thinking? I shall invite at least one stone guest. Comendador, I'll set a plate for you at my table. I hope you come dine with us.
Always the trickster and jokester. Don Juan, quit playing. But all joking aside, we'll accept your invitation.
Thus, they go into the house. During dinner, there's a knock at the door, but nobody's at the door. Everybody thinks it's a joke. The friends think it's a joke from Don Juan, and Don Juan thinks it's a prank from his friends. The friends drink the wine Don Juan offers them. They faint from fear the moment the ghost of the Comendador appears.
Don Juan, this is your last chance. Repent all your sins. Know that before dawn you shall be dead.
And with those words, the spirit fades away. The ghosts wake up after the ghost disappears, and Don Juan tells them of the visit of the ghost. They argue with Don Juan because they think it was a trick played by him, but Don Juan believes that it is them who played the prank, pretending to faint. So they all end up battling in a duel. Don Juan fights with his mates and is also wounded. Hurt and crawling, he returns to the cemetery. He approaches the statue of the Comendador and, grabbing the outstretched hand from the statue, the stone-cold hand grabs him in a death grip, dragging him to hell.
Terrible!
No, that is not how it happened. The truth is Don Juan is finally redeemed by the love of the Virgin, Doña Inés. Don Juan, your repentance has saved you.
Well, legends are legends. That part about being saved by the love of Doña Inés That wouldn't have happened to me. I prefer the legend of him being dragged to hell by the Commandador. I like him better as a rogue. But enough with the legend. Let's move on to more important things. Taverner, how about some drinks? But the good stuff this time, not the usual. The old gentleman is gifting us thank you for our educational, entertaining work.
My wine is always good. These ruffians don't deserve the expensive wine, sir. I will serve them my usual vino, which is of fine quality.
Whatever you say, just make sure there's plenty of it. Enjoy and take pleasure in this wine, gentlemen. Later, we will unveil the reason for this joyous occasion.
As Elena and the taverner distribute jugs, one of the students places the band of cloth they all usually carry on their chest over his head as if it were a monk's hood. Raising his glass, he starts a toast similar to a Gregorian chant, joined by his companions in the same gesture.
Our Lord, who in the long run a drunk man hast make, it will be for our own sake, thus his will shall be done.
Two ladies cross themselves as if they just heard blasphemy.
He who drinks, well, get drunk. He who's drunk shall get sleep. He who's sleeping cannot commit sin. Since we're going to heaven, let's start pouring drinks.
How do you know those verses?
Well, I was once young like you. Young people think they will never grow old, and that is why they commit the follies of their youth.
Well, we know a few similar verses, right, Taverner?
The taverner points to a tile mural on the wall and begins to read the verses painted on the tiles.
If you drink, you'll get drunk. If you're drunk, you'll get sleep. If you're sleeping, you won't commit sin. Since we're going to heaven, let's start pouring drinks. So this is the story. How did it all start? The Bible says Noah, the one from the ark, tired of the animals after the flood. He stepped on some grapes and the stark naked wine was born. Then came out beer, that liquid so gold. From Mesopotamia to Egypt, Greece, Rome, how this sweet nectar traveled the world. But if I have 3 pints of ale, I hardly will make it home. If you drink, you'll get drunk. If you're drunk, you'll get sleep. If you're sleeping, you won't commit sin. Since we're going to heaven, let's start pouring drinks. And what about liquors around the Middle Ages? For medical reasons, monks made them not wages. How can somebody claim bad for your health if those holy hands prepared these medicines out of herbs? Behold, my parishioners, the drink from afar. It comes from the New World, its name is the rum. How could Columbus discover that land? It escapes all known reason, perhaps was a little bit drunk. If you drink, you'll get drunk. If you're drunk, you'll get sleep. If you're sleeping, you won't commit sin. Since we're going to heaven, let's start pouring drinks. If you drink, you'll get drunk. If you're drunk, you'll get sleep. If you're sleeping, you won't commit
sin since we're going to heaven. Let's start pouring drinks.
So let me explain why I'm now who I am. When I was a baby, my mom, bless her heart, rocked me in the cradle with tender love. And enough drops of brandy to help me sleep like a log. Finally, I'll give you irrefutable proof of blessings of drinking, the miracle truth. For Christ our Savior, who died on the cross, in Canaan at a wedding, the water to wine he transformed.
If you drink, you'll get drunk. If you're drunk, you'll get sleep. If you're sleeping, you won't commit sin since we're going to heaven. Let's start pouring drinks. If you drink, you'll get drunk. If you're drunk, you'll get sleep. If you're sleeping, you won't commit sin since we're going to heaven. Let's start pouring drinks. If you drink, you'll get drunk. If you're drunk, you'll get sleep. If you're sleeping, you won't commit sin since we're going to heaven. Let's start pouring drinks. If you drink, if you drink.
Scholar meets the young Duchess's gaze and approaches her.
Oh, there goes our Don Juan after a new victim.
Hey, watch out for the cobra.
May I sit with you? So, Duchess, are you having a good time?
The truth is, I'm having a splendid time. The pantomime has been very good. I never knew about the divine origins of alcohol.
Yes.
Pretty melody. It reminds me of the songs of my homeland in Naples. Neapolitan songs, they called them.
Actually, this is a melody the Bavarians use to dance in Augsburg. My friends are playing it in a slower than usual tempo. That's why it sounds so melancholic in Neapolitan songs. This one is a new dance that is making an impression. It's a big hit in the European courts. This new dance rhythm allows the dancers to glide gracefully across the floor. Ladies' dresses appear to float in midair as the dance gains speed. It's as if they are tied in the ground by their partner.
Really?
It would be like, I can show you.
Show me. Tonight, I feel as if I can fly.
Play a song in waltz time. But start slowly so I can teach the Duchess the steps. It is a simple dance once you know the steps, but you must let me lead you. If you lose a step when the music picks up speed, just get close to me and you'll be all right. Count with me. 1, 2, 3. Good. Continue. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Very good. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now that you have it, stop looking at your feet and hold your head up high.
Follow my lead. 1, 2, and 3. Count your steps and repeat right after me. Follow my lead. 1, 2, and glide. Don't be so shy and come closer to me. Follow my lead. Let music guide. Set free your feet. Let your body glide. Feel how the music permeates through your mind. Follow my lead and you'll dance. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yes, very good. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Very good, Duchess. I think you're getting the hang of it.
Thanks, but to be honest, I don't feel like flying yet.
Well, I guess you'll just have to follow my lead and trust me, will you? Follow my lead, let music guide. Set free your feet, let your body glide. Feel how the music permeates through your mind. Follow my lead and you'll dance. Follow my lead, 1, 2, and 3. Count your steps and repeat right after me. Follow my lead, 1, 2, and glide. Don't be so shy and come closer to me. Follow my lead, let music guide. Set free your feet, let your body glide. Feel how the music permeates through your mind. Follow my lead and you'll dance.
They end the dance in a closed embrace. Elena breaks through the couple's hug by dancing through them. All men in the tavern stop their conversations. Duchess sits down, helped by Guy. Scholar joins the students. Everyone freezes to observe Elena's sensual movements. She starts to sing with a hypnotic cadence.
Love is just something mysterious. Love can be danger, you know. Love also makes you delirious. It makes your mind oblivious to all reason at all. Love could be enticingly perilous, driving you to fall in love. Then how can something so devious turn you into idiots you won't see or hear at all? Love can be danger and bring you in tears. And bring you in tears. And sometimes it will hurt you for many, many years. Caution, my dear. But there's no fear. Everything is forgotten when someone near whispers in your ear. They say love is always blind. They say it blinds all your mind. But there is no worse blind one than the love blinded one who tall. But I yet have just your true man who cares of a woman who stands on her own.
If only women were in charge here. We're in charge here. If only women were in charge here. If only women were in charge here. There'd be no here. No one who bets, no games, no fear. If only women were in charge here.
When someone tells you, please give me a kiss here. Give me a kiss here. When someone tells you, dear, you just give me a kiss here. They look for somewhere dear than one kiss here. Don't kiss him, dear, because men only look for just one thing, my dear. When someone tells you, dear, just one kiss here.
Men are from Balsam, from Venus, from Venus women. Men are from London, Balsam, from Venus women. To understand each other, this is a riddle. This is a riddle. Cause they're from different planets, in fact, makes a riddle. Men are from London, Balsam, from Venus women.
This is the truth about both men and women. Both men and women. This is the truth, my dear, about both men and women. This is the truth, my dear, about men and women. The truth is clear. Can't live with them, can't live without them. Oh, my dear. This is the truth about men and women, dear.
After having bid goodbye to his friends again, the scholar decisively approaches Duchess's table for the second time.
Would you like a glass of wine, Duchess?
Yes, that would be wonderful. It's been a very lively night.
Taverner, give me a glass of wine for the Duchess and put it on my tab.
Oh, if it is for the Duchess, we will give her the best wine in the cellar.
Hey, no, the usual.
What?
No, it's not that. I'm not cheap, Duchess. It's just, well, it's a little sooner than anticipated, but this morning at dawn, we changed the wine barrels.
What?
You have been serving your best, most expensive wine tonight, Taverner, not the watery one you usually serve us.
But Scholar, why did you spill the beans so soon? We still have the whole night left to drink.
Sorry, folks, I couldn't let the Duchess consume the usual dishwater and suffer a stomachache in the morning.
What say you, Taverner? A trickster?
I recognize the cunning master of rogues, and since the gentleman has paid well tonight, there will be no revenge on my part, but best in mind that whoever laughs last laughs best.
Please forgive me. I have a commitment that requires my urgent attention.
Aren't you aiming high, trying to woo a duchess?
Are you questioning my charm, Taverner? I'm confident that I can woo her. Want to bet on it?
Betting brings nothing good. Look what happened to your own Don Juan.
Oh, the pupil has surpassed the master. I've mastered Don Juan.
Scholar brings the wine to the table.
Your wine, Duchess.
Aren't you thirsty, Guy?
Yes, I might have something.
Then go to the bar and ask for it.
You seem crestfallen, Guy. Should I pour you a drink to lift your spirits and cheer you up?
I don't know what you're talking about. We are from different social classes. It can never work. Besides, she is engaged already to an old rich man.
Excusatio non petita, accusatio manifesta.
Excuse me?
It's Latin. He who excuses himself accuses himself.
Nonsense.
If I were you, I would not leave her alone with him. You better keep your eye on her.
Scholar and the Duchess have gotten up from the table, heading toward the tavern's back patio.
I'm going outside to get some fresh air, Guy.
I'll accompany you.
No, don't worry about me. I'm well accompanied.
But, Duchess.
No, I insist. Stay here. Enjoy yourself. Drink your wine. Have a look at the girls. You're allowed to have some fun tonight too, Guy.
Duchess, we had a deal. You wanted a night of freedom, but this cannot go on further.
Do not forget that you are my valet. If you want to be helpful, go to my carriage and get my shawl in case it gets cold.
But...
And do not rush back.
You're the Duchess.
The scholar and the Duchess stroll the waterfront patio, ending up at a stone bench in the middle of it.
Isn't it beautiful here, Duchess?
Meanwhile, Elena, who previously had gone up the second floor, hides from the couple's view down in the patio. She remains motionless so her presence would not be detected and spies on them. Guy, who didn't want to leave Duchess alone, and without Elena seeing him, also stands under the stairwell to spy on them.
Isn't it a lovely night?
Looking at the river, you see how the moonlight shimmers, bringing out a feel of magical love spell. Then you hear the wind blow with its soft breeze like a sweet host that entices you to chase for a love quest. But all fades away when I see you near. All just pale away when you sing with me this song. Isn't it true, my angel? Isn't it true, my love? Isn't it true how strange it is, the way the moon inspires love?
Yes, it's true, I can't deny it. All this magic as described it makes you want to soar the skies above. But I won't imply it. Maybe it's true and I can't hide it, that this magic could at last turn into love.
Then just hold my hand, lock eyes with me, sweetheart, curl up in my arms and repeat these words. Isn't it true, my angel?
Isn't it true, my love?
Isn't it true how strange it is, the way the moon inspires love? Isn't it true, my angel? Isn't it true, my love? Isn't it true how strange it is, the way the moon inspires love?
That's the way it is. That's the way it works. That is how it's been forever. Love cannot be imposed.
That's the way it is. That is how it works. That is how it's been forever. Can't choose to be loved. That's the way it's been in my world, because no one can force who to love. That's the way it works. That is how it works for me.
That's the way it is.
That's the way it is.
That's the way it works.
That's the way it works. That is how it works for me.
Isn't it true, my angel? Isn't it true, my love? Isn't it true how strange it is? The way the moon inspires love.
That's the way it is.
Isn't it true,
That's
my
the way it works. That's the way it is.
Isn't it true, my love? That's the way it is. Isn't it true how strange it is?
That's the way it works.
The way the moon inspires love. The way the moon inspires love.
When the song ends, Elena remains leaning against the railing, sad and resigned. Guy isn't as accepting.
Pardon me, Duchess. I have news that your father is returning to the palace unexpectedly. Our secret escapade is over. Time to go.
Come for me in 2 hours. Meet me under my balcony on the 2nd floor of the north turret of the Duke's palace. Do you know which one that is?
Yes, I'll be there.
Scholar bows and goes back into the tavern.
Duchess, don't you see he is a Don Juan? Are you so blind you don't see how he has taken advantage of you? Don't you remember the song the woman just sang? Everything is forgotten when someone near whisper in your ear. The taverner just told me this is the same strategy he uses with all women.
Perhaps that was the case before. It will be different for me. Ugh, so my father's unexpected return was a lie?
Yeah, of course it was a lie. I never thought you were so weak as to let yourself be seduced by the first charmer.
The first one has always been you, Guy. Don't you think I've noticed?
Yes, and you've been taking advantage of me, but this is dangerous. That man is a Don Juan, and I will not allow you to fall under his spell.
You're just jealous.
Yeah, of course I'm jealous, but my job is to protect you. Now, you don't believe me about a scholar being a scoundrel. Ask the taverner or his niece, Elena. They'll tell you.
Unfortunately, your valet is right, Duchess.
So you too are conspiring against me, tavern wench. Don't you think I've noticed how you look at Scholar?
What's happening in here? Is this all about that rogue of a student? I told your guy not to leave the Duchess unattended.
You see, Duchess?
Pay attention to your lackey. He's right.
Are you also in this plot against me?
Your Duchessness, I have no interest whatsoever in what happens to you, but if you don't trust our word and you want proof, just follow my niece, Elena, to her room on the 2nd floor. From above, listen to what the scholar shares with his friends when you are not present.
Elena, not letting Duchess mutter another word, grabs her by the hand and pulls her up the stairs. Guy follows them a couple of steps behind, and they all enter Elena's bedroom.
From here, we can see and hear everything without being noticed.
Well, tell us. You are very quiet.
A gentleman does not kiss and tell.
So you already kissed her?
But of course, the doubt offends me.
But I shall share no more, for a gentleman has no memory.
Duchess feels a blush arise in her cheeks. She doesn't believe he could say something like that before his peers.
Yes, but you are not a gentleman. You are a rogue and a good one, I'll admit. But just that, a rogue with great ambition for sure. I bet you've used, as usual, your little song. I recognize the merit of your romantic musical composition, but you also owe your success with the ladies to the patio of my tavern. Without the full moon and the night and the river in the backyard, your words would not have been as effective.
Come on, answer him.
Look how easily I can be a gentleman, or pretend to be one for that matter. The patio, I cannot deny it. It helped, my good friend, along with a full moon, but I credit my art, this gift that God gave me, to myself alone, because I alone have cultivated, studied, and mastered it. Nothing could have helped the conquests I've acquired with these hands and lips but my skills and artfulness.
Then you do not believe in love, only in war and conquest, and in demolishing walls and fences.
You said it, Taverner, as I'm a worthy descendant of our admired Don Juan.
He approaches the alabaster bust of Don Juan. He unsheathes the small dagger he wears on his belt and makes a mark with his dagger, adding to the other dashes on its granite pedestal.
Another notch to the memory of Don Juan. There's no woman who can resist my song.
Oh, this guy.
There are not ways to speak of a lady tarnishing her honor. You sound very cocky when it comes to women. Are you also so cocky among men, or are you just a chicken?
Who has given you a candle at this funeral? Who has died and left you in charge, old man?
Knave. Bastard! Duchess' father gave me the right to defend her honor when she promised me her hand. So the funeral is yours.
You are the fiancé?
Yes, the betrothed. Yes, I've been listening to you and watching you like a hawk all night. If you were a man, fight me or beg for mercy on your knees.
I only kneel in the presence of the king.
Then prepare to die without confession, you bastard.
The taverner grabs the old gentleman.
Quick, run!
The students disarm him while Scholar flees the scene.
Let go of me, damn you! Justice! Guards! Guards!
Corton. Scholar appears running in scene alone. He suddenly stops. He seemed to have lost his way. When he calms down, he realizes his situation.
Duchess's fiancé is the old gentleman. He must have been spying on her the whole time in the tavern. Still, no one saw us kissing. So there's no evidence that anything happened, but Duchess's honor could be tainted because I've talked too much. A person can't lose his life for talking, or could he? Well, Duchess has already left the tavern when her fiancé tried to kill me. I need to talk to her. She must testify that nothing has happened between us. It was just an unjustified jealousy of this poor old man who went so far to spy on his fiancé. That caused his rage. I don't know how Duchess will take it, but if she wants to save her wedding, she'll have to help me.
At Duchess's palace.
How could I be so silly? It's one thing to be fooled by a one-night fling, but hearing Scholar bragging with his friends, that is what bothers me the most. Doesn't he realize the harm that this could cause? In this most Catholic Spain, a young woman of the upper class can't afford the damage caused by gossip.
Duchess. Can you hear me, Duchess? Duchess.
Believes the hawk, he'll feast on the dove, but look at the rat being played by the cat. Let's turn the table, rewrite this fable, and follow the game. Let's play the charade. Is it you?
Yes, it's me, Duchess. We're in much trouble, dear. I really need your help.
You really need my help?
Yes, dear, I need your help.
What trouble, just do tell.
No easy tale to tell.
Don't hesitate to tell.
Listen, when you left the tavern toward your home, there was a commotion and then some more. The old-aged gentleman claimed to be your fiancé.
My fiancé?
Yes, he challenged me and he drew his sword.
No!
He told me to kneel or to fight, he roared.
No!
That his honor and your own I took away.
What did you say?
I told him he was mistaken. You know I love you, but you're really taken.
What? What do you say? What about love? If I saw you?
What? On the second floor?
The tavern's second floor.
The tavern's second floor.
Behind Elena's door. You were all bragging off with all your peers below of how you gained my trust and how you took my love. You drew your dagger and made in the bust a notch. You said no Duchess, never resist my song.
Well,
Isn't it true, my angel? Using your words.
I'm sorry, my dear. You just have to hear what was talked below. It's quite very clear 'twas not for your ears, it was just guys talk.
Just guys talk?
Yes, that's how guys talk.
So what about my name and the honor of my home?
Exactly, hear my words. You need to explain and convince your fiancé.
What?
That nothing happened, that it was all okay.
Are you crazy?
If not for me, do it for yourself. You don't want your marriage to be cancelled.
What should I do? How do I choose if only I do know better? Send me a sign for clever choosing about what to do. What should I do? How do I choose to bring the scandal to my father's household or get married with a rich old man? What a lovely plan. What should I do? How do I choose? But then at last,
The die is
And that is the end of Act 1. Everybody, please help yourself to some refreshments in the back. Welcome back to Act 2. We are now traveling forward in time. We are now in New York City in modern times. The fresh countertop at the bar has replaced the wooden plank on the aged oak barrels, which serve as a bar in the olden days. Modern high stools appear near the bar. The lighting has also been a victim of the remodeling, as the lights of the old chandelier made of a wagon wheel have been replaced with pendant lights and LED recessed lights. The rest of the tavern and its Spanish walls and floors remain the same. The remodel has changed somehow the look, but not the layout of the room that was protected by the New York Historic District law. It keeps its old character and a fine balance of new meets old. The tables and chairs remain rustic, but each table is dressed with paper tablecloths with a menu displayed on them. As the band rehearses on the new stage, the owner carefully places bottles of liquor on glass shelves illuminated by recessed lights.
Remember that young rascal that you fell for? Remember that schoolboy who conquered your soul? The charmer, bold and valiant, maybe a little scared of love. The kid you fell in love with yes, your first love. Remember our adventures across the world. Remember how we danced, remember our song. We were young and foolish, but oh yeah, we had much love. We were two silly peas in a pod. I'm still that Peter Pan who lives in Neverland, playing games with Tinkerbell. Fly with me to this land, if you just take my hand, we'll build a fairy tale. I'm still that Peter Pan who lives in Neverland, playing games with Tinkerbell. Fly with me to this land, if you just take my hand, we'll build a fairy tale. Remember how we were two souls in a play. Remember all the good old times we have shared. Destiny played its cards, let's deal for another chance again. Join my band of two, be the first lost girl. I'm still that Peter Pan who lives in Neverland, playing games with Tinkerbell. Fly with me to this land, if you just take my hand, we'll build a fairy tale. I'm still that Peter Pan who lives in Neverland, playing games with Tinkerbell. Fly with me to this land, if you just take my hand, we'll build a fairy tale. This is the story of every known man who has a boy inside who doesn't want to grow up. A rogue and a rebel one who just wants to have fun and always loves you in this place between sleep and awake. I'm still that Peter Pan who lives in Neverland, playing games with Tinkerbell. Fly with me to this land, if you just take my hand, we'll build a fairy tale. I'm still that Peter Pan who lives in Neverland, playing games with Tinkerbell. Fly with me to this land, if you just take my hand, we'll build a fairy tale. I'm still the rebel one, descendant of Don Juan, but that's a different tale. Let's make and seal this pact, I'll play for you, Don Juan, won't you be Doña Inez?
Hey, Skylar, I like the song, but what's with those lyrics you changed in the last chorus? I'll be for you, Don Juan. Would you be Doña Inez? Are you trying to propose to someone?
Propose? Me? You've got to be kidding. That was just a little nod to your story of the scholar and the duchess. I really like this tale you've been telling us these past days.
The singer, Skylar, addresses the other musicians.
Okay, guys, let's do a 15-minute break and get ready for the opening.
Hey, man, do you think it's always been like this? I mean, I wonder if musicians in the past were forced to play this meaningless stuff just for advertisement. No. No, I don't think so.
Hey, DJ, I like your stamina. For an old man, you're pretty hip. But you have an air of distinction like an old gentleman.
Yeah, very funny.
All joking aside, do we really have to sing all these?
Talk to my brother, Skylar. He's a tavern manager in charge of marketing, and I'm just the one who pays the bills. Let's see this new idea of singing waiters brings in any more business. By the way, where is he? Hey, John!
I'm coming. Hey, Skylar, did you rehearse my songs?
You'll call anything a song.
Yeah, right. What did you rehearse them?
Yes, don't worry. We even harmonized some voices. At least we'll make, them sound good. But it's not a masterpiece.
Look, whatever it takes to bring the customers in.
Oh, what's in the package, little brother? No more expenses, please. I'm going bankrupt with the remodel.
This was worth it, trust me. Came directly from Seville.
From Spain? Could it be?
It sure is.
The bust of Don Juan. How'd you get it?
I have my connections, bro.
Whew. Well, I have to admit it. It looks good. Now we're ready for the reopening. Hey, guys, what do you think?
That's awesome.
You like it, Helena?
Yes. Yes, I love it.
Excuse me, let me see.
And you, Your Highness, what do you think?
Don't call me that, John. Yes, very pretty. But I'm worried about the uniform.
The uniform? What's wrong with the uniform?
What do you mean, what's wrong with it? It's a simple white 3/4 sleeve shirt with a black tie, black pants, and a short waist apron, also in black. Obvious. I thought it was going to be something more attractive. We look like ordinary waitresses.
But you are a waitress.
Incorrect, John. We are singers who work as waitresses to survive. That's different.
Okay, Princess. Never has a nickname been so perfect. My brother was right when he gave you that name. By the way, I don't think you really need money to survive.
But I do, and it's nobody's fault or business blaming someone for being born into one family or another.
Well, have you eaten yet? It's going to be an intense night, and there will be no time for breaks.
Yeah, we've just tried the new menu.
Well, how about it?
Excellent. Everything is perfect. I'm just getting ready to start tending the bar.
Hey, DJ, go on with the rest of the story. What happened after the scholar was rejected by the Duchess?
Again with the old stories. Well, enjoy your break. I'm going out for a smoke.
Yeah, I'll go with you.
Skylar, would you be a sweetheart and accompany me outside? I want to talk about some changes to the song that I'm singing later on.
But you're both gonna miss the ending of the story.
Since it seems the Duchess didn't end up with the scholar, I'm not really interested in the story anymore.
Don't worry, Helena. Those two are just fooling around. I promise that you'll get everything. That will be fine.
Well, DJ, what matters to me now is learning the end of the story. So what about a little bit more?
I don't know if I have time, kiddo.
DJ, you know I love this story, and I've been dreaming about it. It's inspired something in me to the point that I've been working on a song about this whole story. Although everything you've shared with us would make for a full musical. Who knows, maybe someday. So please, continue with the narration and let me take notes while you finish telling me the story.
It fades to black, flashback. All modern things disappear. Modern electric fixtures are dim or off. The band instruments can be covered with closed curtain and dim lights if there's no possibility of a revolving stage. The old tavern is empty and dim. The lights of the large candelabra on the ceiling are off, and a single oil lamp above the bar illuminate the near dawn. Customers had left, one by one, for some time. The innkeeper decides to finish up some things before finally retiring to bed.
Well, it's been a good night. The old gentleman was just that, a gentleman who paid for everything. Glad I gave him lodging for the night. I hope he stays with us for a while. I wish there were more nights like this.
Open up, Taverner!
What are you doing here at this hour?
Oh, I heard about the fight, and I came over to confirm it.
Yes! What a good joke it was.
A joke? What joke? What are you talking about?
You left with your mistress and missed everything. Another trick for the master of tricksters. My ancestors would be proud of me.
But do tell.
Okay, guy. Then sit down and listen. The rascal student thought that he could play a joke and that he would be okay and would be unanswered. Oh, but he never thought that I really am the Lord and master of the tricksters and the pranksters. The trick of changing barrels was good, I must admit. But you don't enter into battle underestimating the enemy. Thus, as the Lord says in the Bible, it's mine to avenge. For to help the Lord, I just weaved a plot just to make mine his revenge. The rascal student thought that he could play a joke and that he would be okay and would be unanswered. Oh, but he never thought that I really am the Lord and master of the tricksters and the pranksters. He was up to his old antics as always he would do. But I knew all his tactics of wooing under a full moon. So with all this knowledge, I devised a plan. And it was a really pretty smart and thrilling, silly, clever, real good plan. The rascal student thought that he could play a joke and that he would be okay and would be unanswered. Oh, but he never thought that I really am the Lord and master of the tricksters and the pranksters. You don't beat a trickster using his own tricks. You'll be witty and clever, and you'll have to cheat to beat an old trickster. You can't be a clown, because he's the master of the tricksters, and he will reclaim his crown. The rascal student thought that he could play a joke, and that he would be okay and would be unanswered. Oh, but he never thought that I really am the Lord and master of the tricksters and the pranksters. The rascal student thought that he could play a joke, and that he would be okay and would be unanswered. Oh, but he never thought that I really am the Lord and master of the tricksters and the pranksters.
Wait. Enough. Okay? I get it. You are the master of the trickster, the cleverest of all, but can you just stop boasting and just tell me already? What did you do?
It was beautiful, really. It was an epiphany. I remember how you upset your mistress when she asked you to participate in the pantomime of Don Juan. You joked about her being promised to an old, rich man that nobody had met. I came up with an answer and an idea. I convinced the old gentleman to band together with me to trick the haughty student. He agreed and pretended to be her fiancé. I must admit, he played his role quite well, becoming offended when Scholar, as expected, started bragging about how the Duchess would soon be in his arms. When the old gentleman started yelling about his honor and drew his sword, he was quite convincing. So convincing, in fact, that everybody in the tavern that was not in on the joke was afraid. The old gentleman and I had a great laugh when the Scholar ran away. We had to explain to everybody in the tavern that it was just a joke. It was so well played. That's how the trickster was tricked. He thought he was the trickster. Well, he is the tricked trickster now. And the master of tricks' crown is returned to its rightful owner. Me.
Wait, then it was all just a prank. A joke?
A prank, yes, but not a joke. The best joke. You should have seen the Scholar when he ran away.
Well, you fooled him badly.
Why?
Because he went to the Duchess asking for help and she rejected him.
She refused to help him?
Yes.
Well, then he must be hiding somewhere, embarrassed. Wow, that's even better revenge. How do you know all of this?
Because I was hidden when the Scholar arrived. I knew about their meeting under the balcony, and I saw everything. But the worst thing is that when I went to talk to the Scholar after Duchess rejected him, I advised him to run away.
So you wouldn't have any competition, right?
At that moment, listening to their conversation, I really thought the old gentleman was the Duchess's fiancé. So you even fooled those of us who weren't there. I explained to the Scholar that tarnishing the honor of the daughter of the Duke of Abely, being the Duke cousin of the king, for sure it would carry the penalty of prison, or even worse, a sentence to row in the king's navy. That left the Scholar seriously worried. He asked for my advice. I told him that it would be best if he fled Spain, to look for a ship in the port to set sail at dawn before news broke and guards would come to arrest him. And also that time heals everything and that after a while he could return.
Skylar, Princess, and the band enter into the tavern and interrupt DJ's story. The action tore Helena from the past. bringing her back to reality without giving her time to assimilate what she just heard.
Come on. We're opening. Customers outside. They're waiting.
Oh, you've missed the best part of the story. DJ has told me how the scholar fled after being rejected by the Duchess.
Yes, but enough with the tales.
It is no tale.
Oh, no? Then what is it?
Well, I mean, it's a story, yes, but...
Okay, girl. Come down to earth.
Hurry up. People are lining up outside. Let's get this show on the road.
Actually, they're right. I'll continue the story later. Helena, everybody, get ready for the reopening of the Tavern of the Trickster. It's gonna be a busy night.
Hey, everybody! Welcome to the new remodeled Tavern of the Trickster. Prepare to have a night full of surprises, good music, good food, and better drinks. Tavern of the Trickster, just a place to go. Tavern of the Trickster, everybody's home. Tavern of the Trickster, you won't be alone. Tavern of the Trickster, everybody's known. Tavern of the Trickster, where the party's on. Tavern of the Trickster, and the past is gone. Tavern of the Trickster, no worries at all. Tavern of the Trickster, welcoming for all. Trickster, just a place to go. Tavern of the Trickster, everybody's home. Tavern of the Trickster, you won't be alone. Tavern of the Trickster, everybody's known. Tavern of the Trickster, where the party's on. Tavern of the Trickster, and the past is gone. Tavern of the Trickster, no worries at all. Tavern of the Trickster, welcoming for all.
Welcome again to the Tavern of the Trickster. At this grand reopening, the owners have decided to return to its origins and bring back the old concept of dinner and a show. Your waiters will also brighten up the evening with their voices, all accompanied by my band, the Students. Without further delay, let us begin this musical night. I want to call to stage our dear Helena. Please give her a warm welcome.
Hello and good evening, everybody. My name is Helena, and I'm one of the singers and waitresses who will be serving you tonight. This is a special song that I want to sing for you. It's based on a story I was told. It's new and a little rough, but we're going to try it anyway. I hope you like it.
One story about one love, one true tale told before, one search up and below. Wherever you go, I'll follow your soul. Wherever you go, I'll find your love. Wherever you go, just that much I know. No one could have known that through a soul find your soul wherever you go. That's how much I know. Not just simple words. Promise to God that I will walk the talk. One adventure, two bound souls. One dream, one timeless love. One love made into a song. Wherever you would go. One adventure, two bound souls. One dream, one timeless love. One love made into a song. Wherever you would go. One adventure, two bound souls. One dream, one timeless love. One love made into a song. Wherever you would go. One adventure, two bound souls. One dream, one timeless love. One love made into a song. Wherever you would go. Wherever you would go.
Boys?
Duchess approaches the stage, stripping off her apron at the rhythm of the drums. She flings it toward the stage.
Boys?
Then she removes the elastic band holding her ponytail, setting her blonde hair free. She looks at Skylar and starts singing.
Jealousy. It's the sense I get well constantly. The reaction to my sex appeal. But I guess it comes so naturally. 'Cause I was built just like this. Jealousy. When the boys approach me zealously, and the girls look at me zealously, but you know I can't do anything. Blame the gods, do not blame me. And look how great is this jealousy around me, that when I ask, are you jealous? They laugh out loud at my hello. But then the poor ones agree. Jealousy. With their gaze they just say endlessly that they're threatened by me hopelessly. But I guess they live vicariously through my eyes. That's how it feels. Check it out, boys.
Duchess gets off the stage. She sensually dances, flirting with the tables. Duchess sits down on the lap of one of the patrons. The crowd goes wild.
Jealousy. When the boys approach me zealously, and the girls look at me jealously, but you know I can't do anything. Blame the gods, do not blame me. And look how great is this they feel jealous. But it's not my fault. Not my fault. Not my fault. Jealousy.
That was for me, you know?
What?
Jealousy. The song.
All right, don't start, Helena. Don't be like that.
What's going on is you're in love with her, like everyone else.
Hey, don't go there. All right, my feelings are my issue. If you have a problem with her, you should talk to her about it.
How's it going out there? I'm John, the manager and co-owner of this fine establishment, and on behalf of myself and my brother DJ, we welcome you to the newly remodeled Tavern of the Trickster. Please give a warm round of applause to my brother and the rest of the crew.
I'll let my brother do the honors in a sec, but thank you for being here for this special day, the reopening of Tavern of the Trickster. Someday I should tell you the story behind it.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We've prepared a special menu for you tonight. As you know, this is a Tapas-style tavern, so what better than something to share with your friends? For starters, we have these specials. Chicken, chicken, chicken wings all dressed in hot buffalo sauce. Ribs so tender, ribs all bathed and marinated with much love. These are our two-night special, if you're hungry at all. Onion rings and cheesy sticks, a heaven's match made out of love. Deep-fried oysters or some lobster in a creamy butter sauce. Do you prefer Chardonnay or Cabernet Sauvignon? But we also have fish and chips or British treats with a good side of tartar sauce. New York steak and great crab cakes are the stars of the main course. Don't forget a great cheesecake, sweet treat of old New York. Brooklyn cooking is good looking and the taste out of this world. And from Queens there's rice and beans from the Big Apple's melting pot. What about Coney Island's signature hot dogs? Yes, sir. We've prepared with much care a menu with much love. That food is so good, the kind that you could die for. You'll be served by smiling waitresses. Don't forget to tip when your server don't. Any gnocchi, tagliatelle, Peking duck, filet mignon. Bagels, pretzels, dumplings, gravy, apple pie, a la mode. Pizza pie, pastrami on rye, clam chowder, pork, lamb chops. Quesadillas with chicken, beef, or pork. Mini burgers with french fries, but of course Tex-Mex nachos. But girls can try them all. Chicken, chicken, chicken wings all dressed in hot buffalo sauce. Ribs so tender, ribs all bathed and marinated with much love. These are our two-night special, if you're hungry at all. Onion rings and cheesy sticks, a heaven's match made out of love. Deep-fried oysters or some lobster in a creamy butter sauce. Do you prefer Chardonnay or Cabernet Sauvignon? Hey, that's a pretty good menu. But what about our very good fish and chips and British treats with a good side of tartar sauce? New York steak, great crab cake, all the stars for the main course. Don't forget a great cheesecake, the sweet treat of old New York. Brooklyn cooking is good looking and the taste out of this world. And from Queens there's rice and beans from the Big Apple's melting pot. Don't forget, do not forget, all nutritious, delicious, prestigious chicken wings. Yeah, chicken wings. Yeah, chicken, chicken, chicken wings all dressed in hot buffalo sauce. Ribs so tender, ribs all bathed and marinated with much love. You'll be served by smiling waitresses. Don't forget to tip when your server don't. hot buffalo sauce. Ribs so tender, ribs all baked and marinated with much love. These are our two last specials, but if you're hungry at all, chicken wings.
Thank you. The band's gonna take a short break. Please try something new from our menu. Bon appetit.
Thanks, man. I really needed it.
Hey, let me tell you something. Be careful with those two.
Why?
You know why, man. All right, you can't play with 2 decks of cards. You know, Helena and Princess.
Hey, man, you don't need to mention it. I know my feelings towards them. One is my friend, and the other, well, I don't know.
Well, I'm sure you do, but what about them? Do they know? Or better, what about the rest of us?
Yeah, you're right. Sorry, man. Such a mess.
Hey, Princess, don't take too long. We're busy.
So we have 2 chicken wings with curly fries, fish and chips, and 3 beers. Anything else? No? Perfect. I'll be right back, boys.
Listen, sweetheart, flirting with the customers is good for selling food and drinks. But don't stay at one table too long. If you want more tips, get to more tables.
I don't care about tips, and I wasn't flirting for tips. I was just receiving the compliments they shared about my song.
Princess.
I'm an artist.
Princess, you are here to sell food and drinks. Remember, if you don't sell, there are no songs, and we're all out of here. Understood?
In a dignified manner, she nods to him, turns around and goes back to the kitchen where she puts in the food order to the cooks, and then she exits into the backyard.
Everyone thinks that I'm coming from a wealthy family. I have no problems and my life is rosy. Why am I being attacked? I work hard, don't I? People see me on stage and think that's who I am. That's not me. I was just trying to have a musical career. I've even sacrificed my love life.
That's the way it is. That's the way it works. The important things being clever, just to smile and nod. That's the way it is. That is how it works. That's the path I choose. Remember, it's the price for the reward. That's the way I take a loan, because following my dreams, my goal. But sometimes when I'm on my own, I feel compelled by this whole world. Tough thing being a diamond in the rough and without love. That's the way it is. And you sometimes think, well, just give it up. But the important thing forever, focus on the goal. That's the way you fight the world, thinking how to deal and beat the odds. That's the way you win. That's the way you grow. That's the way it works for me. That's the way it is. That's the way it works. That is how it works for me. But sometimes it's so tough.
Where's Her Highness? Don't look at me like that. The manager calls her that, and it's only a joke. I've decided to follow your advice and take the bull by the horns. I'm going to talk to her so she'll leave Skylar alone.
Good. I think she went out into the yard.
Are you going to do anything about her too?
I have my own plans, Helena. Don't worry about me.
Princess, I was looking for you.
What do you want now?
Well, that little song of yours, Jealousy, that you sang earlier on stage while flirting with Skylar, was it directed at me? Because let me tell you, I am not jealous of you. Here your family's money means nothing. You're a waitress just like me, and the rest of us working here.
Looks like the snake in the grass is baring her fangs.
Hey, look, I don't want to fight. I just wanted to share this. I want you to leave Skylar alone. You don't love him, and I think Skylar and I have a great connection. I think we're destined, just like Don Juan and Doña Inez.
Do you still believe in fairy tales and the old stories DJ tells you? Well, wake up. The world is hostile and spiteful. The sooner you learn it, the better off you'll be. Toughen up as I have, sweetie. Do the same, and you'll be eaten alive.
I know it has no logic, but I believe it. So again, I ask you to leave Skylar alone. Because in the story of the tavern, the Duchess rejected the scholar. Remember?
Wait. Are you comparing me to the Duchess of the tale? You're more sick than I thought. Don't you understand? DJ is messing with us. He has used our nicknames and our alter egos in a story to tease us. Skylar really means scholar. Elena is the Spanish pronunciation of your name, Helena.
I don't know if that's true. What about Guy? He's the only one who's been the same and in love with the Duchess the whole time. Can't you believe in love? Even a little bit.
Love? I know about passion, but love? Where's the love of your Duchess and the scholar? Tell me. But look at me now. I must be crazy explaining to you something out of a tale.
But Skylar loves me, I know.
What a laugh. I bet I can get him before you.
What are you both doing here? The manager's looking for you two.
Princess approaches Skylar and, holding his head between her hands, gives him a wild kiss.
Yeah.
When Princess finishes kissing, Skylar looks at her in disbelief.
You filthy...
Let go of him!
Why?
He's mine!
You wish.
Oh, how dare you!
What's going on? For God's sakes, it's opening night.
But...
We're here to work.
But...
No buts. Helena, go back in and do your job. Skylar to the stage. Princess, my office now.
They sit down in the small office in the back of the courtyard.
Okay. So you want to tell me what that was all about?
That stupid girl thinks I'm in love with her Skylar. She told me she thought my song Jealousy was dedicated to her.
Well, you are famous for not holding your tongue. And you just put it down Skylar's throat. I saw you from the kitchen.
Yes, take her side. You weren't there when she started talking about the fantasy world she lives in. I have my own problems with the image people have of me. She doesn't need to preach to me about love. The nerve. She tried to tell me Don Juan and Doña Inez were destined to love each other. She's talking about fictional characters. And I, playing her game, told her that Duchess and the scholar were also predestined. And look how they ended. Separated. So she needs to stop that nonsense of believing in fairy tales.
It's not nonsense. You really need to hear the rest of the story. Just sit down and listen.
Flashback. Elena is sitting at one of the tables on the main floor, mechanically cleaning some green beans with a blank stare on her face.
Always the maid, never the bride, stuck in a mindless child. Living, working, breathing in this tavern. Feels I'm in a cavern. I don't believe in fairy tales. Life is tough. I'd wish there would be something more. If there's a dream, where should it be? When is my turn after all? My turn to be happy in this world. the bright no. There is no man, truly no one I could really love. There's no one, I don't believe in fairy tales. Life is tough. I'd surely wish there's love. If love exists, I'm not convinced. When is my turn after all? My turn to be happy in this world. If love exists, I'm not convinced. When is my turn after all? My turn to be happy in this world.
Good morning, Elena. Nice morning.
Yes, good morning.
What's the matter with you? You seem worried.
Nothing. Or everything. I don't know. I just know that when I learned about the prank, I didn't do anything to tell the student. I guess I feel a bit guilty.
So you did know about it?
Yes. I overheard you two plotting, and I found it funny at the time, but not anymore.
Why? It was a joke.
Yes, it was. But the thing is, my uncle, the taverner, just told me that last night when he closed the tavern, Duchess's attendant came back. He told me how the scholar went to Duchess's palace after fleeing from here. Guy saw a scholar asking for Duchess's help and how she refused him.
Oh, I didn't know that. Still, it was a good joke.
What I don't really understand is why did you agree to the innkeeper's joke? What was your motivation to get involved in it if you weren't the fiancé? You don't seem to be the kind of person my uncle is.
Actually, I was the one who convinced the taverner to play the prank on the scholar. It was easy to appeal to the title your uncle awarded himself and being master of the tricksters. I just had to ask him if he was going to let that little rascal mock him at the expense of the wine.
What?
You heard right, my dear. With those words, I convinced your uncle to play the prank on the scholar. I'd impersonate the Duchess's unknown fiancé. The taverner, who knew scholar's seduction tricks, the scene and the song he always uses, would do the rest. With just a little peer pressure, the scholar couldn't help but brag about his conquest.
Yes, but the joke got out of hand because Guy, after spying on the couple under the balcony, came out of his hiding spot when the Duchess entered her bedroom, and he spoke with the scholar. He told him to flee Spain and to board the ship that departed this morning to the New World. Don't you see it went too far? I feel bad about being involved in all of this. Look at the consequences now. I should have gone after Scholar to tell him it was a prank.
The truth is, old habits never die. I was the one who proposed the prank to your uncle because I was disturbed by the scholar's remarks when you all put on the show of Don Juan's legend. His comment of, oh, that wouldn't have happened to me. Or his, the pupil surpassed the master. I have mastered and surpassed Don Juan. And also his ending about Don Juan being dragged to hell.
But what does this all have to do with you?
Well, I also have a secret.
He approaches Don Juan's bust. Standing by its side, he smiles mischievously.
But can you keep it?
Don't you notice the resemblance? Although younger, of course. This is Don Juan, and this is Don Juan, the legendary Tavern one. This is Don Juan, I am Don Juan, the most admired that will ever be. This is Don Juan, that is Don Juan, the one and only, the truly Don Juan. This is Don Juan, I am Don Juan, the greatest lover that ever lived, the one of tales and stories, all what is left of him. The Don Juan who lives in memories of people willing to dream. But this is Don Juan, and this is Don Juan, the legendary Tavern one. This is Don Juan, I am Don Juan, the most admired that will ever be. This is Don Juan, that is Don Juan, the one and only, the truly Don Juan. This is Don Juan, I am the one, never it is Lord, that ever lived.
But then,
Yes, I am the Don Juan of the story. Or what's left of him. Let me tell you, reliving my story through the pantomime was tough. It's hard to see yourself as a scoundrel disguised as Don Luis to seduce and take advantage of Doña Ana.
oh, so that's why you jumped when the scholar was going to kiss the Duchess and she did the cobra to him.
No, not really. I didn't jump to protect the virtue of the Duchess, or anyone else for that matter. I jumped at the shock that I felt when I was reminded of who I once was. I guess you could say I sympathize with Scholar since I was once young and wild like him. But there is something in him. Perhaps he reminds me too much of my past self. The rogue and womanizer that I was. I immediately felt a visceral rejection to the Scholar. That's why I planned to give him a lesson.
But then the legend of Don Juan then was not true.
Legends are forged and based in some truth. The first part of the story is basically correct as it was told. But not my return to Sevilla 5 years later, not the fantastic and ghostly ending.
So what happened then? Did you really kill Doña Inez's father?
Yes, sadly, I killed the Comendador. Doña Inez witnessed her father's death in my hands, and I never could imagine I'd be so moved by tears until I saw her crying over her father's body. She saw I tried not to fight with him. I even kneeled, begging for his forgiveness and for the hand of his daughter, but he denied it and attacked me. I killed him in self-defense. That's why she pardoned me. Doña Inez and I fled Spain to the New World where we've been living happily until not long ago, when she passed away. Without my wife, there's nothing there for me. That's why I'm back in Sevilla. But I'm afraid it's been so long, there's nothing for me here either. But enough with sad memories. I was lucky enough to have her.
What we had was truly love, one of those you rarely see, one of those loves you've heard of, one love both will see. This is the story that nobody wrote. That's how the legend was born. So this is the story of the most great of loves went down in history stone.
That was true love then. Oh, I so envy you. I had my doubts about true love really existing. When you learn how two people so in sync get separated, you doubt it.
You doubted it. I mean, no. What the Duchess had with your scholar was not true love. That was just a fling. True love is above mundane things like money or different social classes. Listen, the first time I saw you, you had that spark in your eyes. Remember? You were on the balcony when the scholar climbed up to you. That spark only shines when there's love. Real, true love. You showed readiness to fight when you sang about the perils of love, not because you wanted to advise the Duchess or out of jealousy, but because of that spark. And when you were spying on the scholar and Duchess in the garden, yes, I was there too, spying on us all. I saw your profound sadness, renouncing your love, because you thought he would be happy with someone who wasn't you. True love means to renounce, indeed, when you have to, but true love also means fighting for it when you've got the chance. And now you have it. You have the chance to follow it till the end. Now, if I know anything, it's about love, Elena. You're in love with a scholar, and deep inside it, you know you're dying in his absence. That's how you know it's true love. They say hell is the absence of God. Well, if God is love, then hell is a loveless place indeed. That's why in the legend of my story, the love and persistence of Doña Inés saved Don Juan from hell. She waited for him in purgatory until he repented and both of them went to heaven. Well, in real life, my wife followed me to the other part of the world. Perhaps it's less legendary, but I'd say it's equivalent. And by the way, I heard you singing and complaining about your future, or the lack of it, working here in this tavern. You're still young. Why don't you follow your heart?
To follow my heart. So should I follow the scholar like Doña Inés did with you? Follow my heart, you say, but how?
If you really decide to follow your heart instead of your head, because I reckon this is madness, I will accompany you on your search.
But, Don Juan, how are you going to get back to the New World if you've just arrived to Sevilla, to your home?
I never really should have come back. 40 years have passed since I left, more time than I lived in Sevilla. This is not my home anymore, and my beloved Doña Inés is buried there in the Americas. That was all the family I had left. And here in Sevilla, there's nobody who remembers me, but they all know about Don Juan's legend. I could not live without discovering my name and destroying the legend that was forged from Doña Inés's love for Don Juan. Besides, I feel a little guilty, as you also do for the trick we played on the poor scholar, even if it was to teach him a lesson. After watching the pantomime about my life and the fabulous fantasy of the second part in the cemetery, I can't reveal myself without destroying the legend. It gives it justice to remember Doña Inés was the savior of Don Juan. So there's nothing left to do but to go back to where I come from. May it remain in the memory of Sevillans and to the whole world that Doña Inés truly saved Don Juan. Maybe this is my penance, to belong neither here nor there until I redeem myself so I can meet up in heaven with Doña Inés. So, as in the legend, she surely awaits me. I think the means to do it is helping you. Perhaps all of this was written by an invisible hand. Maybe it was my duty to return because heaven has prepared for me a mission to accompany you in your search of true love. And for heaven's sake, I shall do it.
Then we'll do it. Oh, thank you, Don Juan. I don't know how I'll ever repay you.
No need for repayment. I told you before, you'll be the good deed that carries me straight to Doña Inés. Elena, please carry my name as the daughter I have never had.
Oh, I will, Don Juan.
No more the maid, maybe this time could be my time now. Leaving this job in the tavern, feeling getting out the cavern. Maybe there is one fairy tale after all. Should or could wish for more. This is my time, this is me time, this is my turn after all. To be happy and wholesome in this world.
Dance, Elena, dance!
No more the maid, this time the bride, I'm sure. Going to get what my brave friends tomorrow. My heart I will follow. Maybe
The setting returns to the tavern office on the left part of the stage, where the manager continues sharing the story with Princess.
Well, to make a long story short, the old Don Juan and Elena got on a boat and followed the scholar to America, where they ended up on the banks of the Hudson River in New York. When they found Scholar, they told him about the prank. Elena sang him the song, Isn't It True?
So, is it true what Helena says? All this really did happen and they were destined to love each other?
Well, yes, it is true. And yes, it really did happen right here. And after Elena sang her heartfelt song, they fell in love. Then they established one of the first taverns in New York City. Old Don Juan financed it. They named it Tavern of the Trickster in honor of the original in Seville.
But that's impossible. How can this story be true?
Do you know what our family name is?
No, not really.
Well, it's Johnson, which means son of John. We call my brother DJ, but his real name is Don. So he's Don Johnson, and I'm John Johnson. And of course, John is Juan in Spanish, so Johnson means son of Juan in honor of Don Juan.
Oh my God. Is that true?
Yes. My brother and I are direct descendants of Elena and the Scholar. We never knew Scholar's real name. Like many immigrants, Elena and Scholar's names were changed. Since Elena promised to repay Don Juan, she and Scholar took the surname Johnson to show him gratitude. My family continues the tradition, giving that name to firstborn sons in honor of our family's history.
What's all of this?
This is the birth certificate for the couple's first child born in America. And here are the music scores for Brindis, Tavern of the Trickster, and Isn't It True, the song that got Elena and Scholar together.
I thought that everything was a fantasy, that you were using us, your staff, as characters in a story you invented. So if Elena ended up with Scholar, then what happened to Duchess?
That I can't tell you.
But was she as bad as we thought?
No, she wasn't bad. She just didn't love the right guy. We'll never know for sure. Maybe they were meant for each other after all. And destiny played its part.
Do you mind if I take this sheet music with me for a moment? I think I know what to do with it.
She exits the office and enters the tavern. Guys on the stage.
I want to dedicate this song to a very important person to me. I'm the only one who really knows her, so I think it's about time to set things straight.
Shoulder, your comfy shoulder, your problem solver. Well, I'm just giving up. Yes, I'm done with this act. Trying to leave the friend zone, the dreaded gray zone you feel so safe on. I'm really giving up. I'm so done with all that. I'm ready and willing to shift gears. Make up your mind, don't leave me out here, hanging all alone in twilight zone. When you gonna wake up and realize that I'm the one in this whole damn story? When you gonna wake up and realize responder, a sidekick wanderer. I've never signed this pact, and I don't agree with that. Flying in a no-fly zone is really tiresome, some kind of war zone, a zone of high impact. So show me landing pad, and then ask what I'm doing up here. My answer could not be more clear. Damn it, make a choice or let me go. When you gonna wake up and realize? When you gonna wake up and realize that I am the one in this whole damn story? When you gonna wake up and realize? When you gonna wake up and realize that I'm no Don Juan in a bad love story? When you gonna wake up and realize? When you gonna wake up and realize that instead of heaven this is purgatory? When you gonna wake up and realize? 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 When you gonna wake up and realize that I am the one in this whole damn story? When you gonna wake up and realize? When you gonna wake up and realize that I'm no Don Juan in a bad love story? When you gonna wake up and realize? When you gonna wake up and realize that instead of heaven this is purgatory? When you gonna wake up and realize? When you gonna wake up and realize? When you gonna wake up and realize?
Princess goes up to Helena and taking her by the arm, she pulls her out of the club.
Come on, girl, we don't have much time.
But
I have to tell you a story and show you a song so you smarten up.
What's wrong with those two? Are they gonna fight again?
I don't know, man. To be honest, I'm a little tired of all this. You know, I thought this song would shake things up, but look.
Skylar, it's almost closing time. Give last call.
Last call, guys. 1, 2, 3. If you drink, you'll get drunk. If you're drunk, you'll get sleep. If you're sleeping, you won't commit sin. Since we're going to heaven, let's start pouring drinks. But surely remember, before this last call, that drinking and driving don't mix that at all. If you feel too drunk to get back to your home, don't feel so sorry because a taxi will call. If you drink, you'll get drunk. If you're drunk, you'll get sleep. If you're sleeping, you won't commit sin. Since we're going to heaven, let's start pouring drinks. This is a public service announcement, PSA. Alcohol triggers endorphins in the brain that cause lack of inhibition, loudness, uncontrollable laughter, dancing, and intense good feelings. Initial stages include ethyllic euphoria, friendship exaltation with severe hugging, Dutch courage, regional or patriotic singing. In the final stages, alcohol may cause drowsiness, dizziness, blurred vision, speech impairment, poor judgment, and drunk texting. Do not drive or perform unsafe tasks while drinking, and always carry an ID and money on you for the taxi ride home. Warning, overconsumption of alcohol may cause an influx in the time-space continuum, followed by memory loss, vomiting, and eventually passing out. Alcohol intake produces several secondary day-after effects like nausea, headaches, and diarrhea. Use it with caution as it may increase the risk of one-night stands, and in extreme cases, even pregnancy. Use protection while drinking. If you become pregnant, blame no one but yourself. Tavern of the Trickster does not condemn nor support the use and or abuse of alcohol. Our lawyers told us to state this, so you're warned. And now for the last call. If you drink, you'll get drunk. If you're drunk, you'll get sleep. If you're sleeping, you won't commit sin. Since we're going to heaven, let's start pouring drinks. If you drink, you'll get drunk. If you're drunk, you'll get sleep. If you're sleeping, you won't commit sin. Since we're going Let's start pouring drinks. If you drink, it's nice
Thank you very much. Enjoy your last drinks and see you next time.
Enters Helena with Princess.
Princess showed me the song. Then it's true. Isn't it true? I knew it all along.
This tavern has a history.
And some magic as well.
That too.
I don't know. Should you try it?
Try what?
The magic of this place and the song, silly. Come on. I'll cover you and finish your cleaning while you work the magic spell.
Can we talk for a moment, Skylar?
They go to the patio.
Listen, I'd like to talk to you about something, what happened before.
Helena, you don't have to explain anything to me. The fight with Princess?
Oh, no, the fight's already been resolved. It's thanks to her that I have the courage to do what I'm about to do. Just please let me do it.
Okay, but that's not necessary.
Yes, it is. I have to. I want to. Someone who desires something takes risks. And I want this. So listen.
I would like to tell you a story, one of love in all its glory, something that occurred well long ago. There were two souls in a garden, and their love grew strong and hardened under one spell of moon and song, and they stayed awake through the nights which followed, and they walked away from the past into the unknown. Isn't it true, my angel? Isn't it true, my love? Isn't it true, how strange it is, the way they fell in love?
Hear me, now I know that story, so get rid of all your worries. I've been feeling the way you've described. Trust me, let me tell you a secret. I'll be your safe love gatekeeper. Let me take care of you as was prescribed. Those two old souls are us. In a mortal existence, we were meant to last, to be in one timeless dream love. Isn't it true, my angel?
Isn't it true, my love? Isn't it true, how strange it is, the way we fell in love? Isn't it true, my angel? Isn't it true, my love? Isn't it true, how strange it is, the way we fell in love?
Come on, Guy. I told you they'd be here. Look at them. I knew it would work out. The brothers were right. In the end, all turned out as it should be.
That's the way it is, right?
And that's the way it should end, Guy.
Great. A happy ending for them.
And for us. Did you just pull a cobra on me?
You just disappeared without a word.
I had to teach Helena the song to fix everything.
Everything? When are you gonna wake up?
I just woke up, Guy. I made up my mind after learning what happened with the story. I realized I don't have to renounce anything. I can have it all. So, do you need more reasons, or are you going to kiss?
Well, look at Guy finally kissing her.
It was about time, Skylar.
So, what about this for the perfect ending of your story?
Our story.
Isn't it true how strange it is the way they fell in love?
The way they fell in love.
The way they fell in love.
The way you all fell in love.
Fell in love.
Tell me if I know crazy. Tell me how strange it is the way this tale's been told. Isn't it true, my angel? Isn't it true, my love? Isn't it true how strange it is the way this tale is told? That's the way it is. Isn't it true? That's the way it is. That's the way it is. Isn't it true, my love? That's the way it is. Isn't it true how strange it is the way this tale is?
And all sponsored by Tavern of the Trickster since 1598.
The end.
Ladies and gentlemen, have a nice round of applause for the playwright and composer, Mr. Angel Velasco, right here